Yeah, it's not happening as of right now. Trump called up the Oregon National Guard first to send into Portland against the wishes of the governor, and a federal judge, a Trump appointee, told him no. So then a few hours later, the Trump administration said that they were going to call up the California National Guard to send to Portland. Gavin Newsom said, yeah, we're going to sue. So then an hour after that, the Trump administration said that they were going to call up the Texas National Guard to send to Portland. The initial federal judge who had told the Trump administration that they could not call up the Oregon National Guard got on an emergency hearing with California and Oregon. And I'm just going to show you. This is what she said. How could bringing in federalized National Guard from California not be in direct contravention to the temporary restraining order I issued yesterday? She questioned the federal government's attorney, cutting him off. So this Trump appointee was like, I thought I told you not to do this. The White House did not immediately comment. So these are temporary restraining orders until the full case is heard by the judge. But for now, no, as of 9:45 a.m. Eastern on Monday, no other state's National Guard is permitted to be sent to Oregon. I actually think the most salient probably comparison here, and I talked about this more in depth on my Substack today, is about the time James Buchanan sent federal troops to Utah against the territorial governor's wishes, and that was Brigham Young. This wasn't a state, right? It was still the territory of Utah. But James Buchanan had gotten tired of Brigham Young and wanted to appoint his own governor of the territory. So he sent a new person to take over the position and sent 2,500 federal troops to enforce it, to just like enforce his will upon the territory of Utah against their, without their consent. But again, not a state. If you want to talk about modern America and like actual states, the most salient probably corollary would be the civil rights era. In 1954 in Arkansas, with the enforcement of the Supreme Court's desegregation decision, Brown versus Board of Education, the governor of Arkansas in Little Rock called up his own National Guard to stop Black students from entering now desegregated schools. So Eisenhower called the army in. He sent the infantry into Arkansas to enforce the Supreme Court's decision. So he did not have the governor's permission to have the military sent in. But it's, I think, similar enough, Has the executive ever used the military to go into another state and enforce laws, even though the people who live in that state don't want them to be there? The answer is yes. Of course, the civil rights era was a righteous cause, and what Donald Trump is doing right now is ridiculous insanity.